pull air out of the house. So we take air out of the house, we're going to cause a slight depressurization. We're not going to suck in the doors and windows, we're not going to have drywall falling on our heads, our blood won't boil, we're not going to have a hard time breathing. We're talking very, very small pressures. Far less pressure than it takes to suck water up a straw from your mouth. So we're talking real small pressures, but yet more than enough to know. Some of the things we have to take into account before we do this is how tall a building is and how it sits within the wind, because things like the height of the building and your wind profile, Mother Nature's working on the building already. It's already moving air before we even turn this thing on. So we need to be aware of some of these things before we run our fan. Once we're aware, once we know the size of the building, we put some inputs into our computer over here. It's going to translate the flow and all the fancy stuff from here into some simple things. How many square inches of holes do we have? Once we know that, we'll start hunting through the house and see if we can find where some of them are. So I'm going to go ahead and use my computer here to fire up our blower door. And I've programmed it in. It's depressurizing the house. You notice the panel came in this way, so sucking air out, so new air tries to come in, and we're depressurizing. And we've already got a number here. I'm going to change it a little bit to a little bit higher speed, so it'll get a little bit more exciting, a little louder. The faster we can get the fan, the more air we can get moving, the more accurate our numbers are. Telling us how many holes we have in the house. And because of the stage of construction that we're at, we're not expecting to meet any magic numbers today. And in fact, this is telling us we have 308 square inches of holes. So if you imagine a window 10 by 30 open, we've got a hole that big in this house. This house only needs, by code, to have about half of that and about a quarter of that for the lead for homes. So what we're going to do now is we're going to turn it down so it's a little less loud, so we can actually walk around and see if we can feel where the air is coming in. We'll also use our infrared camera to see if we can pick up temperature differences on the surface of our building. Those temperature differences may be indicative of air moving, cold air from outside, moving over those surfaces. We'll take a look to see what we can find with the infrared camera, feeling with our phalanges. But we're going to turn it down a little bit so it's not so loud in the house. Okay, I'm going to grab our infrared camera, we're going to start in the bottom and work our way up.